So there's a clear warning sign flashing across the economy. Interest rates are dropping, which typically signals a weakening economy, but the opposite effect is now happening again in the housing market. As you can see right next to me, mortgage demand is surging, and a lot of people now are taking on some of the most expensive mortgages we've ever seen. Take a look at this clip.
The average monthly mortgage payment on a new home right now, about $4,500. A new apartment lease, on average, $2,200 a month. In other words, it is more than twice as expensive right now to buy than it is to rent.
And right here in Las Vegas, you can also see right next to me that homes are sitting on the market for a longer period of time, but prices are holding steady. So what's really going on? You're about to find out, and it's definitely going to surprise you. What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Jerry Abbott, your #1 real estate resource here in beautiful Las Vegas. Hey guys, a couple of real quick things before we dive into the video. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn the cold hard facts about the US economy, the US real estate market, and specifically the Las Vegas real estate market, then make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Number 2, if you happen to like the content in today's video, make sure to press that thumbs up like button, guys. And number 3, if you are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, whether it's next month or next year, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. Let's dive into the video. So the true madness to the overall real estate market can be perfectly summed up with this recent headline right next to me. There has been over $20 trillion of value added to the overall housing market in just the last 5 years. And just to give you some context, the overall real estate market has about a $55 trillion total market value. So just in the last 5 years alone, almost 50% has been added to that. And again, that's why a lot of people think that this is a bubble that's waiting to burst. And more specifically, again, here in Las Vegas, take a look at these recent statistics. So this is the August homes report for Las Vegas. Number 1, median home price, $480,000. Number 2, up 0.7% from August of 2024. Number 3, all-time high, $485,000. And number 4, 7,206 homes listed with no offer. And more specifically, again, here in Las Vegas, a lot of sellers now are coming to their senses and they're reducing the prices of their homes because a lot of times homes have been massively overpriced by a lot of these sellers. And I want to show you a few examples of that coming up. All right, so now I'm on the popular real estate website Zillow, and I want to show you 3 specific examples of Las Vegas homes for sale, starting in the luxury category and then working down closer to the median price point, just to show you some of the kind of price reductions now that sellers are being forced to do if they want to sell their home. So let's start here with this luxury home. You can see on the lower left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $2,795,000. But just above that in that small red text, it says price cut $100,000 that happened just about a couple of weeks ago. This is a 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 5,200 square foot home. But again, down below, I want to show you the full price history from where the original list price was compared to this current price. So take a look down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down at the bottom left side of that highlight, the date says 8/12/2021. So we're going back just a little bit more than 4 years ago when this home was sold for $1,659,000. Now, if we look at the date over here on the left side in that yellow highlight, it says 1/10/2025. So about 3.5 years after the homeowner bought that home in 2021, they listed this home, if you can believe it, for $3,600,000. That's essentially $2 million more than when they bought it just 4 years almost earlier, which is a $2 million increase, which is more than the actual cost of the home from when the seller bought it 4 years ago. So needless to say, this home was massively overpriced and the homeowner started to put it through a series of price reductions. You can see right in the middle of the screen there in that other yellow highlight, they immediately dropped the price down to $3.3 million. Then just above that, $3.250. Then they dropped it another $200,000 to $3,050,000. And as I scroll up here, you can see more price reductions until we get to the very top, right there, right in the middle where it says price change $2,795,000. So there's 3 key takeaways on this particular listing example. Number 1, take a look at the bottom lower left of the screen in that blue highlight where the date says 1/10/2025. That means this home was originally listed for sale in January of this year. That means this home has been on the market essentially all year, all 9 months of this year, including the price changes. But here's the thing. Here's the fault with Zillow. As I scroll up here, take a look right there on the left side, right there in the yellow highlight where it says 94 days on Zillow. So again, Zillow, for whatever reason, is showing that this home has been on the market for about 3 months, not for 9 months, which again, I don't know why they continue to do that, but that is an error on Zillow's part. The second main takeaway is the massive mistake that this homeowner made when they tried to list this home for $3.6 million, even though they bought the home for $1.6 million, not even 4 years early, because you could see right there in the middle of the screen in that blue highlight where the current list price is now $2,795,000. That's an $800,000 price reduction. And after 9 months on the market, the seller still can't find a buyer, because if a home is not priced properly, especially a home that is ridiculously overpriced like this one, it is either going to sit on the market or the homeowner is ultimately going to have to reduce the price in order for it to sell. And they're very likely going to have to reduce the price significantly if they want the home to sell in this market. And the third and final takeaway of this particular example is the following. Take a look again down at the bottom of the screen in that blue highlight where it says sold $1,659,000. So again, even though the seller has ridiculously overpriced the home at $3.6 million originally, and they've now reduced it down to $2.8 million, again, an $800,000 price reduction, even if they sell the home for, let's just say, $2.5 million or somewhere in that ballpark where it's closer to the true value point, the seller is still going to make a very tidy profit on it, because again, timing is everything with real estate, and these people bought the home right before prices exploded before the pandemic. So again, the seller is still likely going to make out pretty well, but they're never going to get that maximum price value that they originally want. All right, so now let's take a look at this second example of another Las Vegas home for sale. Now we're coming well down below the luxury price point. You can see on the lower left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $700,000, but just above that in that small red text, it says price cut $49,000 that just happened a couple of weeks ago. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,900 square foot home. But again, I want to show you the full price history down below. So again, take a look down at the bottom of the screen in that blue highlight. Down at the bottom left side of the highlight, the date says 7/11/2025. So we're only going back just a couple of months ago when this home was originally listed for sale, you can see, for $789,000. But right above that price, you can see the current price change where they reduced it last month to $749,000. And then just a couple of weeks ago, you could see right there in the middle of the screen in that yellow highlight where it says price change $700,000. So again, a couple of takeaways here. Number one, and this is my gripe with Zillow, because a lot of things here are still not accurate when it comes to all of their full reporting data. It's talking about how this home just recently went through a price reduction of $49,000, but we can clearly see that the original list date a couple of months ago was $789,000, and it's now down to $700,000. That's an $89,000 price reduction, not a $49,000 price reduction. So Zillow is not showing the full history and the full data the way they really should when you're dissecting the actual true value of a home or not. And the other main takeaway is this: even though this home is not an overly expensive home, it was significantly overpriced because it's now gone through an $89,000 price reduction, and the seller still can't find a buyer because, again, if the home is not priced properly, especially in this market and especially here in Las Vegas, the home is either going to sit on the market for a long period of time and the seller is ultimately going to take it off the market, or the seller is finally going to have a big wake-up call and reduce the price in order for it to sell. And even in those situations, like in this one, the seller still sometimes can't find that buyer. And now let's take a look at this third and final example of another Las Vegas home for sale. Now we're coming way down in price, closer to the median price point, which here in Las Vegas is about $480,000. So you can see on the lower left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $509,999. And I wanted to spell out that exact number because, as you're about to see down below in the full price history, you're going to see some of the desperate tactics that sellers and selling agents for those sellers are using now to try to sell their home. All right, so one more time, take a look down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down at the bottom left side of that highlight, the date says 10/1/2020. So we're going back just about 5 years ago when this home was sold for a very reasonable $335,000. Now take a look at the date on the left side in that other yellow highlight just above it where it says 8/22/2025. So about 5 years later, the sellers put this home on the market for $510,000. Now look at the price just above it. It says $509,999. So a week later, at the end of August, the sellers reduced the price by $1. And there's a very specific reason why sellers are doing that. Because the agents that are representing those sellers know that if they reduce the price even by $1, it refreshes the listing to make it look like it's a new listing so that there's more attention and more eyeballs on it. Now, here's the thing. Even though this is a little bit of an underhanded tactic where sellers and seller agents are trying to reduce the price sometimes in a very minimal way to refresh the listing to get it in front of more eyeballs, the sellers still did very well in terms of their timing because they bought the home right before the pandemic and right before prices skyrocketed. So even if this home sells in the mid 400s, the seller is still going to make a very nice profit on the home in a very short period of time because their timing was simply perfect in terms of when they bought it compared to now when they're trying to sell it. So lower interest rates may be sparking recent homebuyer demand, but a lot of sellers who have overpriced their homes in this changing market with growing inventory are definitely facing a big wake-up call now and are forced to reduce prices in many instances because buyers now have more leverage as the market changes. Now, before I close out today's video, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite comment from last week's video, and that goes to True. Now, I'm going to put his comments up here on full screen, read it to you guys, and then come back on the other side and give you my thoughts. So he wrote, sellers are out of their minds if they think they can sell a house for 100% profit in less than 1 year. I bought a house in Tampa Bay area in Florida for $362,000 in late 2023. Zillow has it at $390,000 almost 2 years later. I think that's reasonable. So two things here. Number one, most home sellers are not trying to make a 100% profit in less than a year. That is virtually impossible in any local real estate market throughout the country. Number two, this person bought a home in the Tampa Bay, Florida area a couple of years ago. They bought it for $360,000. It's now worth $390,000. That is a reasonable appreciation level regardless of the market and regardless of what part of the country it's in. I want to hear from you guys. I want you to drop me a comment down below. I read and respond to all of my comments. If you own a home, I'd love to know what you purchased it for, what you think the value is, how long you've been in it. And my favorite comment from this week's video, I'm going to give a direct on-screen shout out to in next week's video. So just to close out the video, I just want to leave you guys with one final comment. As we move forward, the housing market is likely going to be splitting into two very different realities. Lower interest rates is going to boost stock market wealth for the upper class, making it easy for them to always buy. But there's a very different reality for everyday families, which is separating and widening that gap between Wall Street and Main Street. And unfortunately, that divide, in my opinion, is only going to grow wider over time. Now, again, I know everybody's circumstances are different when it comes to buying a home. Some people want to wait things out, see if interest rates come down more, and other people are buying right now. If you are thinking about buying a home, especially here in the Las Vegas real estate market, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. I'll see you in the next video.